Red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. I hope that's not a sign of things to come. Good morning and welcome to Vlogmas Day 23. This is what my world looks like today. So I had hoped to record this before the furnace kicked in, but it beat me to it. But I've got lots I want to get done today, so I'm not going to wait for it to stop. Hopefully it's not too noisy and that you can hear me okay. It is a lot colder here today than it was yesterday. As soon as the sun went down last night, the temperatures dropped really quickly, and by the time Cameron got home from work, it was very icy out there. We headed out immediately to go take our Christmas gifts over to our daughter's place and pick up theirs for us. And even though Cameron had put some ice melt down when he got home, it hadn't had time to really kick in yet, and we had to really watch our steps going to and from the car. It is overcast here at the moment. It's supposed to be a mix of sun and cloud today and sunshine tomorrow before it starts raining on Christmas Day. But in the meantime, we're also supposed to get some really cold winds. So I think I read the wind chill is supposed to get down as low as minus 15 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be a little nippy for a couple of days. I am glad that my errands are all done and I get to stay in the house. So in addition to taking our Christmas gifts over, we also took our granddaughter's birthday gift. She is turning 6 on the 30th. And as you can well imagine, with just a few days to go before Christmas, she is absolutely vibrating with excitement. So her mom let her open her birthday present early, both to relieve some of that excitement and also so we could watch her. So we had a very brief visit. They were at one end of their garage with masks on, while we were at the other end by the open door with our masks on, and it was freezing cold. So even if we were permitted to have visits with people outside our household outdoors, we could not have lasted very long. So, oh, there's the furnace off. So yeah, it was a very brief visit, but it was so good to see them all in person. And you just, I always think you don't realize how much you miss something until you don't have it. A couple of items of good news. One is that the new vaccine has been approved in Canada, so we will now have 2 vaccines in circulation. The first one was first administered last week. I think it was on the 15th here in BC. And also yesterday, our new COVID-19 infections were at their lowest since I think early November. Was 400 and some odd cases. So that is also good news indeed. Is encouraging to think that our stricter restrictions are working, and even though it's definitely been hard in a lot of ways, it's good to know the sacrifices are paying off. And hopefully it motivates everyone to keep on with them, even if it does mean not seeing family in person at Christmas. I have a feeling, well, I know a few families that are going to gather anyway, and I guess that's their decision, but it's encouraging, or I'm hoping that it encourages others to stay apart. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now. Another piece of good news is it looks like I'm going to have my loom in time for Christmas. After all, I did not think it was going to happen. I placed my order for the second time on the 17th, and I've keep checking every day, but the order status remains awaiting shipment. And then last night before I went to bed, I saw that it had been shipped. But the tracking information was a little bit contradictory. On one part of the page, it said that it had originated in Ontario, but the other part said it was coming from Victoria, which is just across the water from us on Vancouver Island. So when I looked again this morning, I saw that it had arrived last night or early this morning in Abbotsford, which is one city closer to Vancouver from us. Like it's a 25-minute drive down the road. And then I looked again and saw that it had arrived in Chilliwack, where I live. And then I looked again and saw that it was out for delivery. So I am expecting it to be delivered today, even though all along the tracking has said it wasn't due to arrive till the 29th. So that is good news. I already have a loom stand waiting for it, but I have a little mystery about that because I ordered that from a shop in Victoria a few weeks ago. And I got an email on the 16th, I think it was, saying that it had been shipped. So a couple days later, this package arrived from Victoria. Looked a long box. I assumed it was my loom stand. I didn't open it because I really didn't need it yet. And then last night, or the other day, yesterday I guess it was, anyway, I was tracking, I'm tracking several parcels that I'm still waiting for, and happened to load up this tracking number and saw that it was supposed to be delivered today. So I thought that was strange because I already have my loom stand, and when I looked at the packaging, it also was shipped from Victoria, but not from the same shop as I received mine from, and it had a different tracking number. So what I'm thinking is that maybe their supplier shipped it direct to me, not realizing that the shop was also planning to ship one to me. So I think I'm going to end up with 2 loom stands. So I will have to contact the shop and get one of them returned, but it's just a little bit strange. I've only paid for one, so anyway, let's talk about some knitting. I'm making good headway on Cameron's socks. I have 5 more stripes to go before the toe, so it's doable. I think it's doable. I also have my Advent socks here. I added in yesterday's color. It's so funny though because I knit a few rounds and then I realized, hang on, I only have 3 colors left, and I had already planned to do the last 3 colors in ribbing. So the cuff has begun. It's 1/3 of the way there. So we're almost done. And I did put in this the day before yesterday's stripe into the second sock and also got that up to speed. So we are 2 stripes away from being finished on these. I did not bring it down, but I did finish this color stripe in the cowl. So I'm now 2 stripes, and as of a few minutes from now, 3 stripes behind on that. That's okay. So let's see what day 23 is. So what do you think? I've been looking at this color here. Let's see. Take the needle out. So I've been trying to guess whether we'll be continuing with the theme of like pinks, purples, greens, and blues, or if we're going to have a splash of yellow. One way to find out, right? was hoping we would have yellow. I think it's going to be such a fun, bright splash there at the top of the sock. Oh, good. It's a beautiful, it's not showing up. Of course it's not showing up. Well, that's better, but it's quite a golden yellow, I would say. Oh, that's going to be so fun. And then, considering this is the first color and they are supposed to complement each other, so I'm going to guess maybe the last speckles will be a mix of this purple and this yellow, which I think will be lovely. Well, that's going to be a fun one to knit in. So by the time Cam got home last night from work, I had figured out all my lines for my little beer song for him. So I've decided I'm going to put, for the first beer of Christmas my true love gave to me. So when I went through, I tried to make it so that you could actually sing it, you know, like have the right number of syllables to fit into the lines of the song and make them make sense. So I had fun with that. So that's what I'm going to go work on now. I've got to figure out how big to make these labels to wrap around the bottles and the cans, and then print the line of the song for the appropriate day on each label and get them all wrapped up. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Knowing me, though, it's probably going to take forever because I get very meticulous about things like this. So wish me luck, because I still need time left before Cameron gets home from work to work on his sock. The good news in that sense is that he has decided he is going to work Christmas Eve after all, so that gives me one more day to finish. Nothing like taking it right down to the wire, right? Anyway, I'll check back in with you later and show you how I'm coming along with the 12 beers of Christmas. I forgot to mention, I also got my sewing machine back last night. As you can see, I haven't unwrapped it and set it up again yet, but it is good to know it is back home where it belongs. Look, it's here! Sorry for the weird angle. I'm feeling rather clever at the moment. I've worked out a prototype. I can get 2 labels out of 1 sheet of paper. They look like this. So I will just wrap each can, and I've got about a 1/4 inch of overlap on each one. Just tape them in place so it's still legible by turning the can slightly, and it covers the whole label. And then I was thinking for the bottles, because they're a little bit bigger around, I thought I would print 1 per page and do it landscape so that it had more width to it. But when I try it on a bottle, and actually you can see the label doesn't even go all the way around on the bottle, the original label, so there's only that much of a gap. So I figure I'm not gonna try and mess around. I'll just print them all the same, and this certainly covers the labels height-wise, so that will do just fine. So now that I've figured out page 1, I will go and do the remaining 5 pages, print them all off, split them in half. Of course, I won't just tear them in half like I did this one. I'll cut them nicely and then label up all of my cans and bottles. I have to say, it has not taken me nearly as long as I thought it was going to, so that's a plus. More time to work on the socks. So there you have it. I've got all the labels on, and then I cut some circles out of some sticky address labels and put them on the tops. Numbered them 1 through 12. So when they're in the box, you'll be able to see the right day. So all I could think about while I was doing this, and if you're Canadian, you know what I'm talking about, is The 12 Days of Christmas by Bob and Doug McKenzie. So for those of you who don't know who that is, they are characters from a sketch comedy series here in Canada called SCTV. It's kind of like Saturday Night Live. And they are two very stereotypical Canadian men, wear their plaid shirts, drink beer, and say a lot. And so one year they put out the 12 Days of Christmas with all sorts of, again, stereotypical gifts in it. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a beer. I think the fourth day is 4 pounds of back bacon, 5 golden toques, 2 turtlenecks. Anyway, I will put a link under the YouTube video, and then also on the appropriate day in the Vlogmas thread on Ravelry and on the show notes if you guys are interested in checking that out. I've also made a sign for this that says the 12 Beers of Christmas, and I'll show you that in a second. It is a little after 3 o'clock, and I've just finished making myself a cup of tea, and now I'm going to sit and knit on Cameron's socks for as long as I can stand it until he gets home from work. I have finished wrapping up his beer along with a couple of other gifts, so his socks are the only gift I don't have ready to go. I am really hoping to finish them by sometime tomorrow and get them wrapped up and under the tree in time. This has been a day of missed photo opportunities. I have seen the hummingbird at the feeder several times, but I haven't been able to get my phone out in time to record it. And worst of all, there was a big, beautiful heron in the neighbor's yard next door. And it was somewhat obscured by our porch railing. So I was trying to sneak up along our porch in order to get an unobstructed view for you. And apparently I wasn't stealth enough because I scared it away. Just kicking myself. It was just a real sight to behold, and even my camera would have been able to zoom in closely enough for you to get a really good shot. Such is the life of a vlogger, I guess. It is a few minutes past 5:30, and I've just heard from Cameron that he's on his way home from work. So I think this is the last time I'm going to check in with you today. I am happy to report that the end is in sight. It is time for the tow. So I am going to go see how much of that I can get done before his car pulls in the driveway. And then I'll worry about editing the rest of the Vlogmas and getting it up later this evening. It would be wonderful if I could finish these tonight or early tomorrow, and that would leave me the rest of the day to get some housework done and maybe even get some baking done. So I hope you have had a good December 23rd. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the final day of Vlogmas. I can't believe it is going to be Christmas Eve already. Where did this month go?